All right, it was a long weekend of Democrats trying very hard to push the Trump is a Russian asset narrative as hard as they could after the president's historic summit with Vladimir Putin on Friday. Well, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was a master class in putting the rabid leftist media machine to rest. Exhibit A, CBS's Margaret Brennan, claiming that the president is intent on bullying Zelensky into making a bad deal. Watch.
This is such a stupid media narrative that they're coming here tomorrow because Trump is going to bully Zelensky into a bad deal. We've been working with these people for weeks on this stuff. They're coming here tomorrow because they chose to come here tomorrow. We invited them to come. We invited them to come. The president invited them to come.
Unbelievable. Because Margaret Brennan is trying to say that there's some sort of deal, like Trump was catering or kissing up to Putin. That's insane. Marco Rubio just said, and she also said, how come all the NATO leaders were coming? It was to bully Trump on support for Zelensky today. And Rubio's like, no, you're wrong. We're working with the NATO leaders. He's not. We are. Not Zelensky. We are. Exhibit B of the Rubio Sunday morning show. Take down Martha Raddatz over at ABC.
The red carpet, the warm handshake, that President Trump simply lost that Putin gained there just by being on the world stage and walking down a red carpet with the president. Your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, critics of President Trump are always going to find something to criticize. You don't even pay attention to it anymore. But I will tell you this, Putin is already on the world stage. You're not going to end a war between Russia and Ukraine without dealing with Putin. That's just common sense. I shouldn't even have to say it. So people can say whatever they want. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to get the Russian side to agree to things that they don't want to agree to if we're going to have peace.
Yeah, Rubio's really elevating his stature. I think he's doing great. I didn't love him. He was kind of a rhino for many, many years as part of that G4 establishment in 2016, pushed back on some of Trump's immigration. I like him now. I don't think he's presidential material personally. He's doing a great job, though, as Secretary of State. I'm loving what he's doing right there. Of course, as expected, the Comey bots at the MSNBC for now, they changed their name, MSNOW, but MSNBC for now, pushed the Trump as a Putin puppet narrative right on cue.
I don't know if Donald Trump is or is not a Russian asset. I do know that at press conferences like this and like at Helsinki, he certainly acts like one, and that is cold comfort for anyone in the United States, particularly in our military, that the commander-in-chief would be so flattering of and so charming to a ruthless dictator like Vladimir Putin.
They can't help themselves. They don't want peace. These clowns at MSNBC, CNN, ABC, they want Trump to fail. And they want Trump to fail so much that more people will die in these conflicts, wars. Even CNN's Michael Smerconish slammed that kind of criticism and put out the old rolled out the red carpet for Putin to reset.
I'm hearing all the criticism, oh, my God, they rolled out a red carpet, as if he should have kneed him in the groin the minute that he stepped off the plane. I mean, he's trying to cut a deal. President Trump, is trying to cut a deal. I'm willing to give him credit for that so long as he doesn't sell out Ukraine in the process, and there's no suggestion that he's done so at this stage.
Really? A red carpet bothered you? And by the way, they both had red carpets, and Trump waited on his red carpet for Putin to walk off his own red carpet, come and embrace Donald Trump. You want to talk about a beta move, a flex move? That was a masterclass in flexing with another world leader. So cut the crap, MSNBC, CNN, ABC. Trump's a badass, and he proved it on Friday. And to take it one step further, CNN had a body expert on who made it all too clear that the president was the one in command and in control. Watch.
And that handshake, Michael, lasts for 10 seconds as they bill report. They're smiling at each other. They're making eye contact as they're looking at each other. This is a moment of rapport building and parity. And even in those moments, keep in mind, Michael, the handshake is a negotiation, an ongoing signal for power. Here, Trump shows deference, followed by pulling the hand in and using these touch gestures to reestablish dominance as they walk down.
Indeed, that was one of them. Another one was making him come to you. Another one, stick him in the beast. He had Putin riding the beast. It's unheard of. That's unheard of. Trump would never get into the Russian delegation's limousine. There's a lot of power moves that Trump won them all on Friday. This video of the treasonous James Comey is so cringy that people are convinced it was an AI. It was fake. Well, hint, it's real. I'll spare you all of the full 5 minutes of James Comey's confessions of being a Swiftie, Taylor Swift Swiftie, in the face of Trump's presidency, but watch.
Taylor Swift and I go way back. I went to my first concert of hers 15 years ago. I've been to a second, and I have helped financially support the attendance of a lot of family members at others. I'm in a family's Swiftie group chat. I know all her music, and I listen to it in my headphones when I cut the grass. Thank you, Taylor Swift. Keep the faith.
I don't know about you. I am just grossed out by that. That is not only cringe, it's creepy. Like a 60-something-year-old guy saying I'm a Swiftie. I go to her concerts. I'm like, I know her. I listen to Swift songs when I'm cutting the grass. Former FBI director, likely, maybe, a corrupt former FBI director, who, by the way, called for the killing of President Trump for 8647. Remember that? 8647 in the Seychelles. And he's a weirdo. He's a freak. Keep your kids away from James Comey, folks. All right, listen.
I actually was encouraged by the events of the last several months. First of all, the NATO commitment by individual member states to increase their defense spending is very welcome. It's something that prior administrations have certainly sought, and I think it's great that we are seeing these commitments that now have to be followed through on. The willingness of European countries to support Ukraine, and by doing so, buy American weapons in order to provide them to the Ukrainians. I think all of that is a very good signal.
What's going on here? I don't like it. Whatever it is, make it stop. I don't like it. Is this someone seeking a pardon for Russiagate? What's with all of the praise for the president's foreign policy? I just don't want Hillary on our side or agreeing with us at all. I don't know about you. I just feel really weird having Hillary, trying to agree with Hillary or having her say anything. By the way, Jessica Tarloff is sitting there with her. I'll reserve judgment. Tell the other woman Donald Trump beat to the White House, Kamala Harris, to come out of the woodwork and explain redistricting to us. Remember, millions of Americans actually thought this person was ready and capable of being the leader of the free world. Watch.
I think what they're doing is they're cheating. I think they're cheating. They want to change the current system to make it bend toward the outcome they want. And so, if you believe the public reporting, they get a call that says, hey, redo your lines, even though the fallout is going to include exactly what you said, which is, taking the franchise, the vote, away from specific communities. And in the case of Texas, Latino and Black voters.
Attorney General of California has no idea what redistricting is or why they do it or when they do it or how they're allowed to do it, or that California, Illinois, and New York have been doing it all along to the tune of ridiculously biased Democrat representation in all three of those wildly liberal states. Again, there are around 9 Republican out of 52 representatives in California. And in California, Democrats represent about 60% of the population. 60%. That means 40% are not Democrat. Yet only about 10 or 11% for those people who are not Democrats, representation in California. It can't get much worse, folks. Is there anything more amazing than watching the likes of CNN being forced to admit that President Trump's ratings are on the up, and away? Well, there's one thing. Watching them admit that the Democrat Party is squarely in the poop tube.
The reasons why there is no front runner, nobody wants to put anybody up at the top of their ballot list, is because at this particular point, the Democratic brand is in the basement. It is total and complete garbage in the mind of the American public. The Democratic Party's net favorable rating, record lows in all three. Wall Street Journal, 30 points underwater. CNN, 26 points underwater. Gallup, 26 points underwater. And that is being driven in large part by discontent within the Democratic base. The Democratic base wants something different. We'll ultimately end up seeing who they choose. It'll be quite the thing who ultimately gets the rose.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Well, we know Democrat Party, and they don't have anyone. They keep doubling down. They want more crime in D.C., right? They're pushing back against Trump cleaning up Washington, D.C. They want to keep illegals here. They want to give California is giving illegals commercial driver's license who are going out killing people in other states, in Florida. These Democrat policies suck. And they keep doubling, tripling down on them. You're not going to win anything. You're 30 points below water, or 26 if you listen to CNN or Gallup, but 30 on Wall Street Journal, it's not going to get any better for Democrats because it's not that you don't have the right person, you have the wrong policies. It doesn't matter who the person is. Fix your policy, you can put almost anyone in there. You got a bias. You have a natural bias to win elections in America. Democrats do. You just don't have the right policies. So the Democrats somehow still think they can bring their way back, their approval rating back up from the basement, as CNN puts it, is to fully embrace a known socialist somehow to be their new face of their party, this guy.
That's it. That's the ticket for Democrats these next couple cycles.
No doubt about it. Affordability is not even an issue in the Gilded Age. And those that are part of a part of the gilded class. Yeah. The fact that Mandani has been able to raise that and win a primary against some very experienced politicians, a former governor and all, shows that it resonates.
I'm still blown away that Reverend Al Sharpton is still on television. Keep it up, folks. Keep having that guy represent your party. All right. Before we go to break, I just want to remind you something big is coming up. Also, voicemails are flooding in. Several hundred on Friday. I'm still working through a lot of them. We're trying to get through a bunch of them. But The Edge is coming up. Here's a little teaser.
After baseball, I came here. Wall Street. Every second, pressure. Every decision, a bet. Some guys wrote, some ran. I didn't. Pressure's not the enemy. Weakness is. You either rise through the fire or get left in the ashes. That is The Edge.